Yeah. Hello. Good evening, everybody. We'll start with the concepts. We'll do the theory part for the first part of the session. Uh, as you see, I have opened our notes, the textbook, page number 13. This is chapter 1, unit 2, the same one which I've shared with you. Today we're going to discuss about reserved words in Java. You see, in Java or in any other programming language, there are some words which have some special meaning and they perform some special task. I repeat, they have some special meaning, they carry some special meaning for the compiler. They tell the compiler to do something specific. These words are called as keywords. They are also called as reserved words. Reserved words are also called as keywords. Such words, these keywords or reserved words, cannot be used for naming a variable. Now soon we're going to learn something called as variables. Before that, we are doing this topic of reserved words. We're not going in a wrong sequence as per the book we are following. But later on, when we're going to learn the concept of variables, in respect of that, one thing we're going to remember is these words which are reserved words, which have some special meaning for the compiler. We are not going to use any of these for naming variables. Now, the same rule we are going to discuss there also when we're going to learn about variables. Over there also, we're going to come across this rule. Over there, it would be mentioned the same thing. Reserved words would not be used for naming variables. Some of the reserved words or keywords are shown below. Here is a list of some keywords or reserved words available in Java. Some reserved words I'll point out to you, which we have already used in our program. The reserved word public, void, class, static. These are some reserved words we have already used in our Java programs. Though we have not got involved completely in the meaning of some reserved words, as the course progresses, we are going to explain them to you at the right time. You need not bother yourself with all the reserved words which are appearing over here. They are simply for reference. And as the course progresses, we would decide to teach you these reserved words systematically as and when you are ready for them. So this is about reserved words. I repeat, they have some special meaning for the compiler. They do some special tasks for us. And we should not use reserved words for naming variables. We proceed to the next page. If you look at this page, different types of Java programming, you will recollect that we have last session only we were discussing about this topic, last session only. Different types of Java programming, we'll revise it. Basically, there are two different platforms for writing Java programs. They are Java applications and Java applets. Java applications, also called as standalone systems or standalone applications. Java programming language was primarily developed to deal with embedded applications. I'll repeat what are embedded applications. These are programs which are made to be put into electronic gadgets, electronic devices. They could be an air conditioned system. It could be a smart television. It could be a washing machine. It could be a refrigerator. You know, when I'm referring to a smart TV, you know, smart TVs have become very common nowadays. You know, you may have even seen an advertisement of some air conditions where, you know, in the advertisement we have seen where the model or the actor through his mobile phone activates his air conditioner. He turns his air conditioner on with the help of his mobile phone. So basically, these kind of air conditions, they surely have a program inside them, and these programs are very commonly written in Java language. So Java was a language specially designed for making these kind of applications. So you know, in uh, even your smart televisions, the various programs they have built in, they have inside them are embedded applications made in Java. But with the introduction of other user interface utilities to Java, it made its mark in desktop applications. So with the introduction of other features in Java language, it became possible to even make programs which work on a individual system like your laptop at home or a desktop at home, wherein the program, your software or the program you are referring to is installed on the hard disk of your machine. So whether you have an internet connection or no internet connection, okay, assuming you don't have an internet connection or you're not using an internet connection at that time, that program works through the hard disk. It is dependent, it's not dependent on any internet connection. Now the trend is to use Java technology in developing large web and enterprise applications. However, nowadays, more and more people prefer to use internet. More and more people prefer to keep their programs on the on you know, a cloud server. When I'm referring to a cloud server, I'm referring to something like a Google Drive. Many of you may have heard about Google Drive. In case any of you who has not heard about a Google Drive, please raise your hand or send me a message in the chat so I will accordingly understand that. Google Drives, cloud server. Any of you who has not heard about them, kindly raise your hand or send me a chat message. Yes, anybody else? Now, friends, nowadays it is, you know, becoming very popular. This Google Drive offered to us by Google is where you can keep your files. You know, say for example at home, using your laptop at home, you made some files, maybe in Word, maybe a Java program. You made it at home while when you were on a weekend, on a Saturday, Sunday. You were free. You did some programming for office. Later on, some other on a weekday, you go to your office and you want that same program. Now you left your laptop at home. Now you want that program at office. There's no way unless and until you would have carried your laptop home from home to office. But with Google Drive, what we could do is at home when we were making these programs, we could have, after having tested them, we could copy them, upload them on a Google Drive. It is like a hard disk available to you from Google. Some space in the on this hard disk is available to you from Google, and this space is on the Google servers. It is some server giving you some free space to keep your files. So you upload your files on this Google server, and on a weekday, when you go to your office, you can access the Google server, you can access the Google Drive and get the files from the Google Drive onto your machine at office. So you did not carry your laptop, you did not carry those files on some pen drive or on any other medium, but you just uploaded from your home onto the Google Drive, and when you reached office on a weekday, you downloaded it from the drive onto your machine over there. And let me tell you, this is not only for files. This technology is becoming very, very popular nowadays. More and more people are preferring to make use of this. There are more features offered to us by this Google Drive. You know, even nowadays, people are preferring to keep their softwares on the Google Drive. That means you're not preferring to keep softwares on your own machines. They prefer to keep it on the Google Drive. Now, we are going a bit far with this, but at the basic level, I made you understand this with the help of keeping your files on the Google Drive. Have you got a brief understanding of what are developed, what are Google Drives? Is it briefly understood by you? Yeah, we continue now. Now the trend is to use Java technology in developing large web and enterprise applications. Okay, enterprise applications are programs which big companies are using nowadays. Companies which have branches all over the world are making use of such applications called as enterprise applications. Java is more focused on the web than the desktop applications. Yes, Java, more and more programmers prefer to make programs which work on the web. But as I said, you can even use Java to make desktop applications. The preference of programmers are for making web applications. In the present scenario, Java language is widely accepted as a development technology for standalone desktop application development also. So a few of the sentences are repeated. Don't get me wrong, but as in short, it means that Java was initially popular for making web applications or embedded applications, but nowadays it is even being used for making desktop applications, the one which work on your laptop or your desktop. Next, the other type of applications are the Java applets. Now friends, these Java applets, the term applet refers to applications only. It is it is a short form for applets, and nowadays the world has even shortened it to apps. So whether it is apps or applets or applications, it is one and the same thing. Applications, if you're wondering what the term application mean, you see, as I said the other day, even the program in Java that you had written to print your name and address, or to print your name, your roll number, and your school details. So it is doing some of your tasks. It is a program doing a particular task of yours. So that's an application. That's an app. That's an app. Applet. When we refer to applets, they are programs which are kept on some server, and with the help of a browser, we can get the program from the server and running on your machine, make it run on your machine. Such programs are called as Java applets. Let us read this. A Java applet is an applet delivered to the users in the form of Java bytecode. But Java, you can understand this as Java machine code or Java object code. Java applets can be downloaded and interpreted by using a Java virtual machine. So on your machine, what you need is a Java software called as Java virtual machine. And only if you have this Java virtual machine, only if you have this alone, on your laptop or your desktop at home, you can have the Java applet working on your machine. An applet is a program written in a Java programming language that can be included in an HTML page in the same way as an image is included in a page. Java applets, how do we make them work on our machine? Say the Java applet made by a particular programmer in Java programming language, and a dot class file is generated. Now what I mean by a dot class file, I'll just show you. I'm going to my D drive, I'm going to my folder BlueJ, I'm going to my folder where we have kept our files, the sample folder. Now if you look at some of the programs that we typed in Java language, java.welcome.java, then we have this myfullname.java. These are two programs which we have already done. These files have the extension .java. They are programs written in Java. These are source programs. And when we compile them, what is generating the file myfullname.class and welcome.class, I'm referring to this file, okay, which I called as object program. Over here in this notes that we are reading, it is mentioned as bytecode. This is the file, the Java program that a programmer would have made, compiled and created. This file we are going to call with the help of a HTML file, HTML code. So what we'll do is we are going to call that class file. Okay, we are going to name it, include it in one of the lines. We are going to call it through a HTML page. When you use a Java technology enabled browser, okay, after having included the name of the class file in the HTML page, we'll use a browser, and with the help of the browser, from the browser, we'll call this HTML file. We'll open this HTML file. Okay, I repeat, we'll start a browser. From the browser, I will open the HTML file, and within this HTML file, you know, as if I'll make this HTML file page run, and within that, we would have written a line to call the Java program, Java applet. So browser, from the browser, we're going to call the HTML page, and from the HTML page, we are going to call the applet. That's how the applet is going to work. Now this applet or even this HTML page, both of them may not be on your machine, on your laptop or desktop at home. It can be kept at some server in some other part of the world. And yes, only with the help of the browser, we can call this HTML page and make this applet work for us. When you use a Java technology enabled browser, means a browser which can make Java programs work, Java applets work. To view a page that contains an applet, that means your HTML page, the applet's code is transferred to your system. That means that applet from that server is transferred onto your laptop or your desktop and executed by the browser's JVM. Your browser, with the help of JVM, Java Virtual Machine software, will make that applet work. Java applets were introduced in the first version of Java language in 1995. Friends, over here, this explanation includes how includes how a Java applet actually works, or it is made to work on your machine. Okay, I would very frankly say that you would understand this when we actually demonstrate it to you practically. So I will rather plan it someday at a later stage to demonstrate this to you. Okay, remind you, at the moment the programs or applications that we are going to do from your 9th standard syllabus are basically standalone applications. But in order to get this understanding of this paragraph over here, We will spare some time at a later stage, because this is a bit technical, to use a browser, we'll make a HTML page, and from the HTML page we'll call an applet and see how it goes about. From my side, this is a bit of explanation I want to give to you on this particular topic. I'm open for any queries. Let us see if at this stage the queries are worth discussing. Okay, I'm open for your queries on this. Before we go further, our discussion on this topic is almost over. That is the two types of Java programs. That is the standalone applications and the Java applets. Any queries, anybody? In the chat box, you can please put down your queries, put forward your queries to me. Yes, often theories are quite technical, and you should give yourself more time to understand things practically till you come to this. Later when you come back to the theory, you will have a better understanding of this. We proceed further with our discussion. This is the next topic in our notes on the same page 50. Basic structure in Java programming. This basic structure topic is going to, over here we're going to discuss what is the basic layout of a Java program. What are the common things, what are the necessary things which should be there in every Java program, and how should they be arranged. The basic format of writing a Java program in Java is entirely different from that of other languages. Yes, when you're going to write a Java program, you're going to see some additional lines. Some lines which you had not written in your C++ program or your C program, or for that matter, even in a Python program. So it is essential to know the following points while writing a Java program. Friends, in order to understand this, I will start my BlueJ software in the background and open one of our programs. Or I can even simply open my program in Notepad. I have this file, my full name .java, not the .class file, and I can simply double click on it and open it. Over here in the panel next to my file, we can see the program. So with this program in front of us, I'll prefer this other program, welcome.java. Now in this program, welcome.java, last session I was teaching you comments, and I've put lots of comments at the bottom of my program. So kindly don't you ignore them for the moment and just consider the comments at the top which I've given. Over here, I wish to remind you that in one of the sentences I had just made a mistake while typing. Okay, though orally I said what I intend to. The sentence over here contents. Okay, the sentence which I'm pointing to, contents do not appear in the output. Comments do not appear in the output. So I mistakenly wrote it as comments do appear in the output. Please read it as comments do not appear in the output. Later on, or rather let me do it now since we are speaking about it. Okay, I'm starting BlueJ as I said earlier. Started BlueJ. Let us read our notes meantime. Okay, BlueJ started. So once we start BlueJ, you know we have to open a project. We select project menu, open project. Currently what I'm seeing is my C drive of my machine. So over here on the left panel, I select D drive. Okay, over here I selected D drive. From D drive, I'm selecting my folder BlueJ. So I selected my folder BlueJ, select folder. Just a moment, friends. I've not opened, selected the right one. Again, I repeat, project, open project. I'm going inside my D drive, my folder BlueJ. And within BlueJ, I'm selecting the folder sample. Okay, last time I selected BlueJ only. I have to open my project. My project is sample. Select. My project is open. It's showing me the two files. I'm double clicking on welcome. And the code of welcome.java will open up. Welcome.java, I repeat. It has opened. Okay, let me come to the comments, the third one at the bottom. Comments do not appear in the output. Okay, while orally saying that, I had said that comments do not appear, but mistakenly I typed it like this. Okay, we keep this program in front of us and let's refer to the notes. So it is essential to know the following points while writing a Java program. Comments in a program. Comment statement is a non-executable statement in Java. Last session, if you remember, after having done comments, I was looking out for some notes on comments. I could only find this much of explanation on comments, and I think it's more than sufficient. You don't need to discuss too much about comments. I've also given you the same points. It is a non-executable statement. It is included for the sake of the users to understand that what action is going to be taken in a program or statement. That means what your program is going to do, what a particular statement, what a particular line of your program is going to do. So that's what our comments about. I've given you some additional points. Comments can be written in anywhere in the program. Comments, they can be written any number of times. I've also explained to you that comment can be written behind a statement also. That means a statement can be briefly explained by giving a comment behind it. So you should be putting comments in your Java program, which I've taught you last session. Declaration of a class. It contains the word, or which it contains a reserved word, I can say. It contains a keyword, also called as access specifier, public. So the class declaration starts with the word public. Let's refer to our program. These two lines at the beginning are comments. Then you declare your class with the word public, then the word class, and then the name of the class. Now today, at the beginning of the session, we taught you reserved words. So public is one reserved word, class is another reserved word, and then you give the name to your class. It also defines the keyword class, which is followed by a meaningful class name, like we have given the class name welcome. So in our program, we have given the class name as welcome. For example, if you're writing a program to find the sum of two numbers, then it could be written as, the class declaration can be written as public class and the name of the class sum. Now in this statement, public class sum, public, I remind you, is a reserved word of Java. Class is a reserved word of Java. That means you are defining a class, but sum is a name to the class given by the programmer, given by you or me. Keep that in mind. Sum is a name given by the programmer to the class. So this word sum is not a reserved word of Java, the name sum. It is some name given by us. If you want, instead of sum, you want to give some other name to your class, for example, my sum. I repeat, my, MYSUM, could also be the name of your class. Like in a program that we have done, welcome is the name of a class. Now let me tell you, last session I did spoke about comments. Once again, I'm repeating. In the comments, you can use any kind of letters, capital letters, small letters. Okay, within the comments, you can have digits also. Okay, like I've written in a comment, I've written page 69 and 70. So there could be digits. Within your comment, there could be special symbols, like I put a hyphen symbol, I put a dot, I put a symbol like a backslash, comma. You within your comments, you can use any character from a keyboard. You can use all characters. You can write them in capitals, small, doesn't matter. Now coming to the statement, public class welcome. I'm purposely writing P in capital in that statement. Let us compile our program. Please see we're getting an error. Errors found in the class at the bottom, appearing at the bottom of our screen. Now on the right hand side, I get this message errors 1. When I click on it, I'm getting some hint. Okay, where is an error in my program? Okay. Just below the public, I'm getting a red line. If you could see that red wavy symbol below the letter P, that's a hint from BlueJ that there is a mistake over there. I type the word public entirely in capital letters. Compile it. Then too I'm getting an error. Again the error is at the same place, and now I'm typing it in small letters. So from my side, I've shared with you that this public word has to be written exactly the same way because it is a reserved word of Java. Java understands it this way only. Java is not understanding it any other way. I compile my program and I get a message, class compiled, no syntax errors. The next word, class. Even this word I'm writing C in capital letters. I compile it. I'm getting errors. Now, I shared with you earlier on the right hand side, you get that error 1. Earlier it was showing error 1, now it is showing errors 4. Now earlier I was getting a message over here, error 1. This time I'm getting a message, error 4. Now why am I getting 4 errors? We only made one mistake. That is, we wrote C in small capital letters instead of small letters. But let me tell you that we're getting 4 errors because this small change that we did is not a small mistake that we did. It has actually resulted into many other mistakes. That is why it was showing us 4 errors. Notice I changed the word keyword class back to small letters, compile it, and now I get the message class compiled, no syntax errors. I repeat, I'm writing the word class in capital letters, compile it. Once again, I'm getting 4 errors. Now, where are the four errors? Please see there's a wavy line just below the letter C. There's a mistake over there. That means this word, there is a mistake in this word. Then there's it's showing me a mistake over here in this word void. Now let me tell you, there's no mistake as such in the word void. The spelling is correct, but I'm getting error on this particular word because of not defining my class properly. I've not defined the class properly. So, and within the class should be this main function. Now जब मैंने क्लास ही बरोबर नहीं डिफाइन किया तो उससे मेरा ये मेन फंक्शन भी बरोबर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. उसे ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कि ये मैं क्या बना रहा हूँ अंदर, क्लास इसके अंदर क्या बना रहा हूँ, जबकि उसे मेरा क्लास ही नहीं समझ में आया है. Then it is showing me an error over here at this curly braces. So that's why, there are at times you might make a very small mistake in your program, but then the number of errors that you might get maybe 10, 15, 20. And the very first error you correct and you compile, you'll find all the errors are gone. Class compile, no syntax errors. So the word public is a keyword, class is a keyword, so they have to be written exactly the way Java wants them. Coming to your class name welcome. Since this class name welcome has been given by myself, or when you are making your program, you can give some name that you would prefer to give to the class. So as you see earlier, we had written W capital, remaining letters small. If I write the entire name, class name welcome in capital, that is also correct. Now, I said it is correct, but let me tell you with one limitation. I compile it. Okay. I did not get an error, but I was expecting an error. Good, BlueJ has done BlueJ has automatically made the change for me. What it has done, the moment I change my class name welcome to capital, please see at the top over here where I'm pointing to above the word compile, the name of my class over there also it is appearing as welcome in capital letters. I was expecting we would get an error because we changed this welcome to capital and earlier it was W capital remaining letter small, but BlueJ has made change for us at both the places. Yes. Remember one thing, the name of your class and the name of your Java file should be same. I repeat, the name of your class and the name of that Java file should be same. Or even if I'm giving the name welcome in small letters completely and I click on compile, please see the name of my class welcome and the name of the Java file welcome.java are same now. Now there is a rule we have to keep in mind over here. If your class that you are defining, if you are defined it public, okay, if the class is public class, I know you'd be curious to know that what does public do. We have to reserve this discussion for later stage. We will not go into that discussion now. It's too early. Yeah, class word because we are defining a class. We are creating our own class, our own program. That's a class. Now, I was telling you that when you define a public class, your class name and your file name should be same. And what we are seeing is the moment we change the class name, the file name is being changed by BlueJava. You know, BlueJava is actually following the rule for us. Let me tell you, if I would change the class name and assume if the file name appearing at the top was not changed, we would get an error. I said if you are using some other Java software, we change the class name and we do not change the file name, we would get an error, let me tell you. But as we saw, Blue Java is making the change for us, the class name. The moment we change it, it is changing the file name also, because it is a rule, strong rule to be followed. Allow me to add this rule over here. I'll later put it in a text file and share it with you. I'll put it as a comment over here. If we define a public class, the class name and the Java file name should be same. You have to follow this rule. You have to keep this rule in mind. I repeat, if it is a public class, when you're defining a public class, the name of the class and the name of the Java file in which that class, that lines are being saved, should be same. Going back to a folder, what do I mean? I'm trying to show, see, Blue Java is automatically making change for us over here, but I'm showing it to you physically from a folder. A sample folder. I'm selecting the file my full name.java. What we are referring to is, after the word public class my full name, that name is a class name, and the file name on the hard disk is my full name.java. And when it is a public class, the two should be same. I repeat, the two should be exactly same. And I would like to add a point over there. If we are not defining a public class, the class name and the Java file name could be different. If we are not defining a public class, the class name and the Java file name could be different. Now, in this case, at the top, the other aspect I'm discussing, I remove the word public. I've simply written class welcome. Class, I'm naming it as my welcome. Now, what Blue Java has done for me, a very beautiful thing. I'm impressed with this feature of Blue Java. At the moment I change the class name, it automatically changes the file name for me, which is holding that class. So, we are never going to encounter, we are never going to violate that rule where the class name and the file name are different. Okay, Blue Java is ensuring that for us. But let me tell you, if I was using some other software for Java, currently my class is not a public class. I've removed the public word. I've given the name to my class as my welcome. The name of my class is my welcome. It would be allowed in this current situation, because the class is not public, my file name to be something else in some other Java software, let me tell you. I repeat, in some other Java software, if my class name in this case, a non-public class name and file name are different, it will be accepted. But firmly, If my class is public class, class name and file name should be same. Different class name and file name, if it is a public class, will not be allowed. Now, why have I discussed this with you? Let me tell you, friends, in the textbook, when you come across, when you go through programs at a later stage, at times you would find the class declaration like this, class and the name of the class, and at times you will find the declaration like public class and the class name. So in order to make you comfortable with this difference, with this, I have discussed this particular thing with you. We have tried to discuss this particular line of our program, the class declaration. And finally, as you see, my class declaration is public. The name of my class is my welcome, and the name of the file which is holding the class is mywelcome.java. Please read these 2 points. If you define a public class, the class name and the Java file name should be same. Okay. Vue.js is ensuring that for me. If we are not defining a public class, the class name and the file name could be different. I said could be different, but over here also Vue.js, even if I am not defining a public class, whatever file name whatever class name I'm giving, it is automatically changing the file name also. So whether it is a public class or a non-public class, Vue.js is ensuring that the class name and the file name is same at all times. I recommend that for you, for your pleasant practicals, for your pleasant practicals. You ensure that, and as such, you're going to do your practicals in Vue.js. So Vue.js will not allow you only to have a different class name and the Java file name. We are moving on to the next point, but before that, I'm open for any queries, please. In the chat box, you can raise your hand and send your query in the chat box. After the declaration, class declaration, that means you are defining a class, that means you are defining a program of yours. Whatever you're going to write define within your class, whatever you're going to write within your class has to be within a pair of curly braces. Please see the curly braces on the next line, open curly braces, and this the ending curly braces. As you see, when I select this opening curly braces, Vue.js is automatically selecting the closing curly braces for me. So that's the pair. They have to be in pairs. Please see over here the last point. Closing of the curly braces indicates the closing of the main function and the class. After this opening curly braces, we have to define a function. The definition of this function should start with the word public, then the word static, the word void. These three are keywords of Java. They are reserved words of Java. They have some special meaning in Java. They should be written exactly the same way. Next, you are writing the main function. You are defining the main function. Every Java program, every Java class should have one function, minimum one function. It can have many other functions. I repeat, there could be many other functions within your Java class, but one function has to be there, and that is the main function. The name of this function main should be exactly like this. If you write M capital, remaining letter small, I'm compiling it. Class compiled, no syntax errors. Now I changed the name of this function to M capital, remaining letter small. I did not get any errors. You would have wondered we should have got some error. Let me close this. And I want to execute this. My welcome. Right click on it. And I'm selecting void main. Clicking on OK. Normally that is what we do. We select void main, click on OK, and my program works. I get the result. But this time I'm not getting the result. So I would simply, relate it with the change that I've done, cancelling it, double clicking on it, the change that I've done, the mistake I've done, and that is I have to name this function as main with M capital, all the letters small. Now इसे ऐसे समझिए कि जावा कंपाइलर के अंदर ही जावा कंपाइलर को जैसे बताया गया फॉर्मली कि जब भी वो कोई क्लास चलाएगा तो सबसे पहला फंक्शन जो उसे चलाना है वो है ये, और उसका नाम बिल्कुल इस तरह से होना चाहिए, ये मानो जैसे जावा कंपाइलर को बताया गया, ब्लूजे को बताया गया कि उसे सिर्फ ये फंक्शन सबसे पहले चलाना है, main with main small letters. I compile it, I close it, right click on it, void main, OK, and we get the output. Now friends, somewhere casually, just keep a watch on this. In this output window of ours, we got the output of our program the first time we have executed it. Okay, there's something regarding this output window which I'll be sharing with you. Closing that window. So I've tried to prove to you that this function name should be main exactly like this with no other change in it. If you do that, your Java class would not work. Within this main function, a function in Java should have these round braces, these round brackets, also called as parentheses. I repeat, round brackets. I'm not referring to curly brackets. And within these brackets, you have to write this. You have to use this word string with S capital. Yes, notice S is capital. I'm writing S in small letters, compiling it. Please see I'm getting an error. There's one error. Click on it. I'm getting a message, cannot find a symbol. And with symbol, what is it saying? What is it not able to find? This class string. Now, in a way, Java BlueJ is giving me a hint. It is not able to understand this word string. No, actually the name is same. But what Java BlueJ or Java recognizes is the word string with S capital. Notice I made the change and the error would be gone. Compile it, no errors. So the word string has to be written exactly like that. It has to be written within the braces. Now coming to this ARGS name. Now let me tell you, this name can be simply A also. Okay, instead of ARGS, I've written it as A. Compiling it, no errors. Okay, that's a name contributed by the programmer. That name that was over there, ARGS, was no reserved word of Java. It was not some special word that Java given to us by Java language. It's a name given by the programmer. So I can name it as A, I can name it as Z, anything, that particular thing. I'm executing my program. Please see, I'm not getting any error. So this name which was appearing over here could be any name. Notice I named it earlier A, now Z, and I'm finally changing it back to args. Very commonly in every Java textbook, almost every Java programmer names it as args. It relates to some advanced concept of Java, which we call as arrays. This is called an array, and this is a name given by the programmer to the array. And as I showed you, it could be any name. You please don't worry about what are arrays. Only to, satisfy you to some extent, I've shared with you the name of this thing. It's called arrays. Now friends, let me point out to you that till now, amongst these, amongst the lines we have typed, I'll try to relate something. Comments, you write anything. So comments, whatever is written within the comments is written by the programmer, like you or me. Name of the class given by the programmer, you or me. Name of this, what is ours at the moment called as array, is given by you or me, a programmer. Rest, whatever you see till now, till what we have done, including the name of this function main, or the word string, or the word void, static, public, class, are given to me by Java language, and they have to be written exactly the same way. I repeat, comments, whatever we write in the comments is the programmer's wish, the class name is the programmer's wish, and this name, args, instead of this, some other name can be given by the programmer. I'm compiling, there are no errors in my program. After main, again there should be a pair of curly braces, in a pair opening and at the end closing. This curly braces indicates what your main function will do. Yeah, I can even say it is synonymous to what your program is going to do. I can say what main function will do is what your program will do. So all your program lines will be within the main function. All the lines that you want to do will be within the main function, and you should start and end with your program with the opening and the curly braces. Now, do you have any query till here, please? Any query? Now, friends, today it's not the theory I'm doing. Our theory session and the practical session, are they going hand in hand? We go ahead with our concepts further. Now, friends, let me speak about spaces with you. Okay. I would say, with regard to spaces, you should, it's common sense kind of thing. You don't get pressurized about where to give spaces and where not to give spaces. You use your common sense and you will get the answer whether you have to give a space over there or not. Now first, after the comment, I'm saying you, after the comment and before you type the text, your comment, if you, the space that I give, even if you don't give the space, please see in one statement I've not given the space after the comment symbol. In the other, I've given the space. So this is just to show you that that space is not necessary. I've compiled it, no errors am I getting. Next, coming to the space between public and class, I remove the space. You suddenly see some change in the appearance. I compile it. I'm getting errors found. 4 errors found. The fact is, I've merged the word public and class. The computer is not understanding the public word properly. It is not understanding a class word properly. It is not understanding that I'm defining a class, and so I'm getting so many errors. So, as I said, common sense, we need a space. There are 2 different words, so we need a space over there. Coming to the space between class and my welcome. Class is a reserved word of Java, and my welcome is the name of my class. I remove the space. Again, you see the change in the appearance. I'm compiling it. Again, I'm getting 4 errors. BlueJ is not able to understand that what this word is, because it knows the word class, that you're defining a class, and then it will accept the name whatever you are given. So as I said, again, there should be a space that's common sense between the reserved word class and the name of the class. Public and static, I'm removing the space. Please see we get an error. Putting the space back. The space between static and void, getting errors. And I give a space again, the space between void and main. So we need a space over there. The space between string and args is also needed, because string is one reserved word of Java and args is a name given by the programmer. So there are 2 different things, and so that again, you see I'm compiling, I get an error. No, I'm not getting, I'm getting errors. One error on the right hand side over there. So again, there's some mistake in over there. I give the space, compile, no errors. Now where you're supposed to give one space, if you give more spaces, that also is no problem. Actually Java needs one space, but if you're given more spaces, no problem, no errors. I'm removing the extra spaces and giving one space. Now look at this curly parenthesis, the round brackets. I'm putting a space over there after the open bracket and before the closed bracket. I'm putting a space between main and the bracket. I'm putting a space between that asks. I've added some spaces. Compiling my program, no errors. Now often we see the word main, after the word main there is this open bracket and then there is this word string. This word main, the name of the function, and the string, they are separated by this bracket. There's something separating them. So many a times in such situation, whether you leave a space or you don't leave a space, because there's something which is separating them, that is the round brackets. So it doesn't matter whether you leave a space over there or not. Similarly, at the end, we have given an extra space. I'm removing it, and between the open square bracket, that square brackets, in between, I've given a space. I'm removing it. After arg's name and before the square bracket, I've given a space, I'm removing it. So there you are. Have you got some clarity about the spaces, please? Have you got some confidence about where you should give a space? Let me tell you again the same sentence. Use your common sense. And in case there is a symbol in between, some special symbol in between, then even if you don't give a space, it's okay. Coming to system.out.println operand. Before I come to system.out.println, because we have a query. What if you give a space between my welcome, the name of the class? Please see the moment I change, blue J to the appearance of my screen, it gives me a hint that I made a mistake, the first thing. If I compile, that's the second way I get to know there's an error. And when I click on the error at the right bottom of my screen, okay, I get to know where the error is. Now, the message that I've got for the error is not very friendly this time. So I would say you ignore that message. Just see where you have that red symbol, wavy symbol. It's between my and welcome. Now I'll be teaching these rules to you while giving names to classes, while giving names to anything, like name to this class or the name I've given to this args. Whenever we're giving name, we ourselves are giving some names. Okay, the space is not allowed between our names. The names that a programmer is assigning. Yeah, underscore symbol is allowed. We'll be later on learning these rules for names. Underscore, this symbol is underscore symbol. So the underscore symbol is allowed, or no underscore at all, or no space at all. But space is not allowed within a name given by a programmer. Similarly, guess between the word public, if you put a space somewhere in between, is that valid, please? Compile, you're getting errors. Okay, we're getting an error over there again. So no, it is not valid. But more important was within the name, that space is not allowed. Within names created by programmers, whether it is class name, whether it is array name, names given by programmers should not contain spaces. Instead, they can, if it is comprising of two words, then instead of name, underscore should be used. Notice I've given the name to my class as my welcome, my underscore welcome, and I click on compile, and immediately at the top over there, you see the name of the Java file changed to my underscore welcome.java. Coming to system.out.print, system.out. Yeah, just allow me for a moment before I come to that. Let's look at read our notes. Okay, we have come to this stage, declaration of main function. The main function encloses the programming statements. That means all my program statements should be within the main function, within open and curly braces. After that, there should be open and curly braces. The main function is further enclosed within the curly braces under the class heading. Okay, what are they saying? See, ये दो बातें बता रहे. The main function encloses the programming statements within open and closing curly braces. तो यहाँ बात हो रही है curly braces की, जो हमने main के बाद दिए हुए ये braces, जिसमें हमने अपनी लाइनें सारी लिखी हुई है. तो यही बात कही गई कि हमारे प्रोग्रामिंग स्टेटमेंट्स होने चाहिए मेन फंक्शन के अंदर, and they should be enclosed in these curly braces. And further, अब जो कहा जा रहा है, the main function is further enclosed within the curly braces under the class heading. Means main function को आप कहाँ लिखेंगे? मेन फंक्शन दैट इज दिस, इसे मेन फंक्शन को कहाँ लिखेंगे, आप अपने क्लास के अंदर लिखेंगे, और वो तब जब आप क्लास के बाद ओपन कर्ली ब्रेसेस दें, तब जाकर उसके अंदर फिर आप अपना क्लास बनाएंगे एंड एंड इट विद द क्लोज कर्ली ब्रेसेस, द क्लास विद द क्लोज कर्ली ब्रेसेस। तो पहले आपको कर्ली ब्रेसेस पैर देना क्लास के लिए, और फिर उसके अंदर आप मेन फंक्शन बनाएंगे, और मेन फंक्शन के अंदर जो लाइनें लिखेंगे उनको भी आपको कर्ली ब्रेसेस में लिखना है। Termination of each statement must be indicated by semicolon. As you see, my statement system.out.print or system.out.println ends with semicolons. Every statement within the main function should be ended with semicolon. Now, you would wonder, why aren't we giving a semicolon at the end of this line? Let me tell you, I'm actually teaching you why not. Your class ends there. Your class ends there. So all that you have written after it is meaningless. So you're not supposed to put a semicolon there. Public static void main, at the end of that statement line, I'm putting a semicolon there. What have I done? I've ended my main function over there. बस मैंने मेन फंक्शन का नाम डिफाइन किया है और उसे वहां एंड कर दिया है, मीन्स वो कुछ करेगा ही नहीं, और अगर वो कुछ करेगा ही नहीं वहीं एंड हो जाएगा, तो ये लाइनें हम क्यों लिख रहे हैं? तो ये गलत हो गया, हमारा मेन फंक्शन वहां एंड हो जाता है, वो गलत सेमीकोलन वहां नहीं दिया जाएगा। यस, मेन फंक्शन आप ऐसे याद रखें कि मेन फंक्शन के अंदर जो आप स्टेटमेंट्स लिखेंगे, ईच ऑफ दैट शुड एंड विद सेमीकोलन। अगेन इसमें भी कुछ रिजर्वेशंस है, आगे हम सीखेंगे। अभी के लिए आप ये याद रखिएगा सेमीकोलन कहाँ देना है आपको। टर्मिनेशन ऑफ ईच स्टेटमेंट must be indicated by semicolon. Closing of curly braces indicates the closing of the main function and the class. So the closing curly braces, the first closing curly braces is for the end of the main function, and the second one is the end of the class. So friends, last session I taught to you system.out.print. The job of print is to print but not change the line. So it simply prints this and leaves the cursor, in the output window. It just leaves the cursor at the end of the word Java. Then the next print command works. So after Java, the next command prints with A plus, and this print command I've written it as println. So the job of this is to print with the word with A plus on the first line only, in continuation to the word Java. After printing with A plus, it will change the line. That means it will move the cursor to the next line. So that if you wish to print something else, if I add another statement, system.out.println, so this println, as I said, will print with A plus and move the cursor to the next line. So if there's another print statement, it will print on a new line. Now coming to these braces, the round brackets, the round brackets also called as parentheses. After print and after println, we have written these round brackets because print is a function. Just as main is a function, and after main there is round brackets, print is a function. So brackets after that, and whatever you want to print, which should be within these brackets, even println is a function. Now why system.out? System.out, why is a bit technical. You remember it this way. System.out is a package of Java, and within that package is the function print. This print function is given to me by Java, and this print function and the println function is within a package called as system.out. Packages are ready-made programs, ready-made classes. Please see, this class my welcome is my class, made by us, made by myself. In a similar way, there are lots and lots of ready-made classes made by Java and given to me, and these classes are kept inside a package. I repeat, these classes are kept inside a package, and this is the name of that package, system.out. So print is a function, and when you want to call this function, when you want to make use of this function, you have to call it by writing system, then the dot out dot print. Next, within the round brackets, whatever you want to print should be enclosed. I want to print this text, and it is necessary that we enclose this text. Whenever you want to show some text, you put it in double quotes. Within this text, these double quotes can be written in any manner. So I'm writing W in small letters and even the Java J in small letters. It's my wish what I want to print and how I want to show it. I'm compiling this and closing this window. I want to run this. Right click on my welcome, select void main, OK. Notice the change I did. I changed W to small letters and J Java to small letter. So I see the change in my output. Now over here, I'm just diverting a little bit, but I'm teaching you a simple thing. I'll come back to system.out, my program. Please see that when I executed my program earlier today, my output window showed me this first line of output. And now when I executed it, I'm getting the second line, this line of output. So actually, this output window, also called as terminal window, please see at the top of this window, terminal window is written, terminal window sample. In this window, each time I run the program, currently I run my program my welcome for the second time. Earlier I had run it. Okay, closing this window. I'm going to my program my full name, right clicking it and executing it. Please see the output is appearing on the third line. So what is happening is, whatever program I'm running is giving, the output of that program is appearing in the same terminal window, one below the other. Now, if I wish that I should be seeing only the output of that program which I'm running, let me share with you this command. From these options, one command I'm sharing is clear and the other one is clear screen at method call. I'm currently doing clear. So this window, terminal window is clear. I close it. I'm running my program, my full name. This is something new that we are teaching you. And please see only the output of that program is appearing, that execution is appearing in that window. Close the window. Coming back to my welcome and executing it, notice what happens is, now my welcome program is giving me the output below the output of full name, because I did not clear, after I saw this output, and before I executed this program, I did not clear, I should have done this. So I'm doing it now for your sake, clear. Closing my window, executing the program my welcome, and here you are the output. the earlier output is gone. This way you need to clear. Now if you don't want to clear every time for every program, you don't want to do it, you don't want to bother yourself doing it, what you do is you simply put a tick mark, select this, and you get a tick mark over there. Please see, I select options again, we have a tick mark now. Now don't select it again because the tick mark will go away. Please see that it's gone. So you click, it's a toggle. Toggle means once you click, it's turned on. Another time you click it, it turns off. That's the word toggle, meaning of the word toggle. You select it. Now the advantage is I did not clear at all. I'm closing the window. I'm going to my program, my full name, executing it. Please see the earlier output is gone. So now what happens is every time I execute a program, the output in that terminal window would be cleared automatically before the output of this program appears. Please see now, I did not clear the output. I'm going back to my welcome program, executing it, and the output A plus submit education is cleared. So have you understood this option, please? Very good option. Keep a tick mark over there and it remains there. Now today at one given time when I was executing the program, I had removed the tick mark because earlier at some time I put the tick mark. Now it is there, so let it be there. Have you understood? Please raise your hand. Please let me know in the chat window, please. Please give me a moment. Let's go to our notes. We have covered this page. We're moving further to the next page. And on the next page, as you see, whatever I explained in our program, we have a program over here, a Java program. Okay, let's go through this. It's almost a revision of what we did quickly. Public is an access specifier or a reserved word of Java. Class is another reserved word of Java or a keyword. These both are reserved words. Okay, this public keyword is also called as access specifier. This is class declaration. This is a sample, is the name of a class. Curly braces for the class. Pair of curly braces at beginning and end. Within the class, within this class sample, public class, a public static void main. We are defining our main function. This line is a declaration of the main function as a whole. Please see the author. Then within the class, there are some lines. These lines we have not reached to this level of programming, so we will not discuss these lines. But please see, every statement ends with semicolon. Okay, we soon, probably by the next session, we will be discussing this. We have a system.out.println where we are printing some text, the sum of two numbers. We are printing the text, the sum of two numbers, and then the sum which is kept in a variable C. We'll be learning about variables soon by the next session. But this is the output statement that is giving output to us. The main function ends with curly braces, closing curly braces, and then the class ends with another closing curly braces. So please see, this diagram points out to one there is an opening and closing of the class, that is these curly braces. I hope you're getting it. And the second point refers to, second symbol refers to, mark refers to the second pair of curly braces, which is for the main function. Output statement in Java programming. Friends, we'll be soon ending our session. But just for my curiosity, is somebody in a big hurry to end the session? I'll just cover up this output part. If anybody is in a hurry, not more than 5 minutes, we'll continue. But let me know. Output statement in Java. The statement which is used to get the output of a program or to display messages on the screen is system.out.println. Now syntax, what is written over here, let me familiarize with the term syntax. Earlier in my first session, I had spoken about syntax error. You see, there is a specific way in which a particular command of your language, in every command should be written. I'm not saying every command has to be written in the same way, but each command has its own way. There's a definition in which it is supposed to be written, and this is called as the syntax. Like this system.out with S in capital, because the name of the package is system.out, and the out word in small letters, println in small letters. And then since println is a function, after that there should be open and close round brackets. Within the brackets, whatever you want to print, you should mention. And at the end of the statement, there should be a semicolon. All these rules are called syntax. You have to follow them. And if you don't follow them, you're making a syntax error. Like here, look at this example, system.out.println. I open the round bracket, which I have to do because println is a function. And I want to print welcome to Java programming, which I put in double quotes. At the, open double quotes, end double quotes, close the bracket for the print function and semicolon. This print statement will give me the output, welcome to Java programming. These messages are to be written within the double quotes, enclosed within the braces. I repeat, messages have to be written in double quotes, within the brackets, round brackets. So it's over here, it's not curly braces, that is a round brackets. If you want to display a message along with a variable, then it could be written as, if you want to show a message and after the message you want to show a variable, which we'll soon learn. Don't be very worried about this statement. We're just showing it to you. System.out.println, open brackets. The message, what you want to show should be in double quotes. After the message, you want to show some value. Now, between your message and the value, there should be a plus symbol to combine them and show the output. I repeat, so that the two are combined and you get the output. You get the output over here. Please see, the sum of two numbers is, and assume the answer kept in V, the value kept in V is 45. So we get to see the value 45. This variable P, this P thing is a variable, and soon by next session I will be reaching there, we'll be learning about it. If you have any problem in understanding this line, please don't worry about it. Just keep it pending till the next session. So till here I would like to discuss with you. There's a lot of theory we have done today and a bit of practicals in between. We wanted to cover up our notes. I'll just now friends, I'm just moving to page 18 and I would like you to read this. Just make a note of these pages. On page 18, this part, you'll see the program which displays some text, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of text, this example in the textbook, and there's some description of this program. I would expect you to read this. This is almost everything about this has been discussed by us while I was discussing you the topic. This comments, then the definition of your class, curly braces, declaration of your main function, semicolon, etc., etc. System.out. The same thing is being repeated. So I would expect you to read this on page number 18. That's it. I'll just summarize which pages I want you to go through again. Okay. This will be a repetition, but please spare the time. Okay. Please spare the time. This is very basic thing, and you should be very, very clear about these things. Don't misunderstand. Don't think this is the reason why am I sparing so much time on these. I'm not in a hurry that I should go hurriedly to the further chapters, because if the basics are not clear, you're not clear with the basics, you'll find things difficult. So the pages are, which we have covered from this unit, are 10, 13 at the bottom, reserved words, 14, page 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, not 21, not 22, 23. Okay, please go through these pages. We are at the end of the session. Any query, anybody, will soon stop our session. I'll be uploading these videos. Yeah, one request, friends. We are uploading our videos on YouTube. We request you to share these videos, share this information with your friends. As you know, once I put these videos on the YouTube, I share the link with you in the group. Please we request you also to have a look at these videos for revision purpose. If you want to revise something which you missed out, maybe because of the connection, or you want to revise it because you want to clear some doubts, so you can go through the video or the part of the video. We request you to like our videos and subscribe to our channel, and also recommend it to your friends and relatives. I am open for any queries before I end the session. Anybody has any queries? Yes, if you don't have any queries, you can disconnect from the meeting now. You can end your meeting from your side. Okay. And once everybody has left, I'll be ending the meeting. Need not waste time of those who have no doubts. Or if you still want to wait till I end the meeting, that's also okay. If somebody has some doubts and you want to understand it. My last call, do you have any doubts, anybody? Okay, we are ending the meeting.